Instead of using expensive professional gear in order to make a photograph that looks like it came out of a camera phone, why not concentrate on eye contact, for example? Why not use nice optics that preserve the sense of texture, the sense of structure of the scene's three-dimensionality? Hi, I'm Shaul. Tony Northrup is a master of YouTube. You couldn't have missed him if you tried, if you have any interest in photography. He's a commentator on the industry, an educator, a master provocateur. He once even managed to break Ken Wheeler's stoic composure. Anyway, last week he published a video, quite a candid one, in which he lamented the proliferation of AI and its dire meaning for professional photography. Tony's sentiment is that AI is so good these days in emulating real photographs that there is no point anymore in making professional looking portraits or headshots. Tony Northrup is very susceptible to trends. He has been for the past 15 years or so, always trying to keep on top of them. And he noticed, rightfully so, that there is a sentiment of repulsion from AI-generated images. And anything that looks like it could be a generated image. Those synthetic images are very smooth, very sharp, and they really look like photographs taken with expensive professional gear. You see, those models were trained on existing photographs, and the source of those photographs is largely from the internet. Online photographs are mostly highly processed. They are edited to be published. So you rarely find photographs that are just what the camera captured. In most cases, there will be a decent amount of retouching, of noise reduction, of sharpening, whether it's done by the photographer on a computer screen using modern software, or by the camera itself. So no wonder that by default, AI image generators produce images that are just that look highly processed, highly professional. AI-generated images have become so ubiquitous recently that there is a real crave for authenticity. He suggested a few remedies to this situation to make your photos more authentic or look more authentic. For example, Tony suggested refraining from using a very wide aperture in order to include some context in the photographs. He suggested using shorter focal lengths for portraits. He used to take headshots with a 200mm lens, probably at f2 or f2.8. Now this focal length completely isolates the subject from anything else in the scene. You will not see what's around the subject. 200mm is really extreme. It also makes the facial features look quite compressed. I admit that this type of rendering does flatter the subject. It diminishes the size of the nose. It diminishes any disproportion in the face. But it also detaches the viewer from the subject. When you look at a headshot made this way, you cannot escape the feeling that you are an observer, that there is a disconnection. There is no intimacy in such portraits. The distance required to produce a headshot with a 200mm lens makes the relations between the photographer and the subject a little bit remote. There is no contact, no intimacy. A distance like that prevents the photographer and the subject from communicating. I was always a proponent for using much shorter focal lengths for portraits. Something like a 55 or 58 millimeter lens is better suited for that. It allows the photographer to be at a natural communication distance from the subject, so they can quietly converse. And that connection improves the communication or the intimacy felt in that portrait. Facial features also look more natural, a little bit less compressed with such a focal length. Another recommendation Tony shared was using available light instead of professional lighting. And I agree. Lighting and softboxes close to the subject's face, just outside of the frame, take away from the intimate connection between the subject and the photographer. So no wonder those portraits look a little bit remote, a little bit detached. Tony noted that a lot of photographers, amateur and professionals, started using analog cameras. Now, I don't think analog photography is sustainable anymore, not at the prices of film. Not talking only about the price of film itself, but the cost of developing And scanning is quite eye-watering these days. A simple 35mm frame on film costs around $1.5 US, which is a lot. I think it's unsustainable. Besides, I would like to argue that in most cases, film or analog photography is not really more authentic than digital. In both cases, the camera captures light that is reflected from surfaces in the scene and transmitted through a lens. Now, the difference is only the media, the type of process used by the camera to capture that light, whether it's chemical or electronic. But I would like to argue that modern digital cameras make an even better job in authentically capturing that light. Analog photography can be finished up to the final print without touching a computer, without any processing. But between us, how many analog photos are made this way? Usually the film is developed and then scanned, then processed on a computer, just like a digital image. The characteristics of the film stock used may be preserved during that processing, but they can be also emulated on a digital photo, with the result being quite indistinguishable if you put the required work. Talking about processing, Tony recommends tuning down the amount of retouching, noise reduction, sharpening, because highly processed images are rightfully suspected as synthetic images made by AI generation. Well, I've never been a proponent of heavy processing. I don't run any retouching on facial features. I usually don't denoise images. I don't sharpen them, because I'm looking for a different aesthetic. But that heavy processing was a feature long argued for in the professional photography scene. I think that giving too much attention to how smooth, how sharp, how perfect an image looks like could be detrimental to the viewer's experience. We feel closer to people who look like they were close to us, to flaws, to photographs where the subject looks human, natural, not like a doll with plastic skin taken out of a magazine. Watching Tony's video, I couldn't escape the feeling that he's trying to teach us how to emulate authenticity, how to make photographs that look authentic. But you cannot fake authenticity. It's an oxymoron. Instead of using expensive professional gear in order to make a photograph that looks like it came out of a camera phone, why not concentrate on eye contact, for example? Why not use nice optics that preserve the sense of texture, the sense of structure of the scene's three-dimensionality? Looking at a portrait, you want to get a glimpse of who that person is, not only what they look like. And for that, you need a separate set of concepts. You need to have human contact with the subject while shooting them. You need to have a nice, quiet conversation in order to promote trust in the subject. So they feel comfortable in front of the camera, not put soft boxes around them, not standing at 10 feet away in order to use a long lens that blurs out the background entirely. It's not the idea of a good portrait. Changing the gear you use in order to make the aesthetics of the image look different will not replace the need for human contact, and the viewer will feel it. Trends in photography and in other fields are quick to appear and sometimes quick to disappear. And trying to stay on top of them is futile, I think. What you need as a photographer, as a creator, as an artist, is a strong center that anchors you to your work. And that center is who you really are. Your life experiences, your values, things you really care about. Expressing those values, those experiences through your photography is what makes your work consistent, more full of body. Trying to make photographs that are trendy, that are solely made to please others, is not what will make you a good artist, I think. A good photograph is judged on what it makes the viewer feel, not by its aesthetic characteristics, not by how beautiful it is, or how sharp, or how clean it looks. And no, photography is not defined by trends that have the nature of passing. It's not about the likes you get on social media. Some trends in photography were so extreme, so removed from what photography is all about that they will never come back. I think that early 2010s HDR photographs are an abomination. You will never see them creating a new trend, not even a nostalgic one. Late 1980s portraits with soft focus and strong, vibrant colors will never come back. They look so artificial that they are gone forever. I think that AI generation of images is giving photography the opportunity to go back to its roots, to contract a bit, but emerge in a stronger manner. There is no other medium that has the ability to document life, to immortalize fleeting moments at a press of a button. Use photography to show the world, not to alter it, not to make things look different, more beautiful than they are, not to conceal parts of the scene that are distracting or irrelevant. Photography is inclusive. It starts from a scene that is already there, not from a clean slate. Use it to your advantage, to pass on your personal message, to show your personal sensibilities. Right, I think that will be all for today. If you like this video, if you like the contents of this channel in general, please consider buying me a coffee. It's a nice gesture between gentlemen. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.